In one of my live sessions, someone asked me about how to handle grief. But talking about grief is hard. And honestly, whenever someone's going through deep pain, I often feel a little hesitant, if you like, to offer advice. Why is that so? Well, simply because I haven't walked in their shoes. I don't feel their loss like the way they do, and I think it's important to admit that, because grief is incredibly personal. But what I can share, though, are some principles or framework, general truth that can serve as a guideline for walking through grief. So, if you allow me, I will try that way. These principles are not to erase your pain, and these won't make everything okay overnight, but they can give us a hope and something real and something solid to lean on when everything seems so shaky. The first thing I would say is this: it's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel hurt. We live in a world that sometimes rushes past pain, stay strong, move on, be positive. But that's not how real healing works. Now, even Jesus, who had the power over life and death, he wept at the tomb of Lazarus, his friend, John 11:35. Jesus didn't hide his emotion. He felt it. He felt every bit of the pain. Then he shared it, and then he let it show. It tells us that grief isn't something to be ashamed of. It is part of living, and it's part of love. And the next thing I'd say is you don't have to go through it alone. And I know that's a very cliche advice, but you see, God didn't design us to suffer in silence. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, we are told to carry each other's burdens. So what it means is reach out, friends. If you're hurting, reach out to talk to a trusted friend, to a counselor, someone who would perhaps even sit with you quietly without trying to fix it. Sometimes it is just having someone say, I am here, quietly. Sometimes makes all the difference. The next would be a good thing to bring your pain to God, even when it doesn't seem to make sense at that time. You don't have to have the right words. God isn't asking for polished prayers. He is asking for honesty. And when we open our hearts to Him, something will shift inside us. Healing happens when we align ourselves to God's life-giving, life-sustaining design law, the law of love, the law of truth, law of freedom. When we align and openly and honestly and humbly align with those principles, something moves. And when we do that, that includes us being truthful about our grief, be honest about it. And when we are real with God, we create a space in ourselves for His comfort and His wisdom to begin His work of wonder in us. And maybe the most powerful truth of all is we are not alone in suffering. Jesus didn't just watch from distance, did He? He stepped into our world when He saw a broken world, and He experienced the worst of human pain on the cross. He carried our sorrow, our grief, and our shame. So He knows what He's talking about. So when we cry, we cry with a friend who has experienced it with us, who has been there before. So these principles that I've shared won't erase your pain. I know that. But they give us a path to walk, not alone, not in darkness, but with the one who promised to wipe away every tear someday soon. I pray, and I certainly hope these few words help you if you're grieving. God bless.